Good morning, good morning. Welcome to, what was today? Thursday? Welcome to Thursday. This is our ad-free live stream. My name's Tyler if you're here for the first time. And it looks like we have Shane. Welcome if you're here for the first time. Super glad that you're here. If you're joining for the first time, what you can expect here, actually, we look like we might get a sell-off right here. I have this inversion fair value gap. We're probably going to run to that low. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I normally have a little morning spiel, but I'm not in this trade. So we'll keep going, but I like the way that looks. We'll see if it plays out before open. Anyway, what you can expect during the live stream is we're going to be going through my daily trading bias. I'm going to be sharing with you live trades and giving a front row seat to all the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. And then if you're watching this after the stream, you can jump to the key moments using the chapter markers below to find out all the trades that I've taken, along with the detailed explanation. Lastly, today is the last day for Apex 90% off. So if you're considering on the fence, grab one. You can use the code DTJ and get 90% off with that. With that, let's go ahead and open in prayer and we'll rock and roll. Father, we honor you this morning. I thank you for everyone that's on this stream. I thank you that we have the ability to produce wealth through day trading, and I pray, Father, for your wisdom as we navigate the uncertainty of markets. And Father, I pray that we would choose not to be manipulated by our feelings when we think we're missing a trade or we think that there's an opportunity. Father, give us wisdom. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, folks, let's take a look. I decided to revamp some of my charts, some of my indicators, my lines, all that stuff. So I'll be going over some of that today. I posted that in the Discord, also on all of my templates that I currently use. But so let's go ahead and let's take a look, see what we got. So we have our opening range gap. It's over 100 points right now. So we got a large opening range gap that we can keep an eye out on. We also have, let me zoom out a little bit here. We rejected off of the previous week high or the previous week low. We came up into that. We have our previous day high sitting up here and our previous day low sitting down here. We have our new day opening gap here and here, which is also overlapping with the monthly open since we have a monthly opening price. We'll be taking a look at that. Shane, been following you for about a week, just been quiet. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're joining. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Who else we got on here? T, Tony, Richard, Phil, Alki, Eva, Ted, Wilhelm, good morning. Glad to have you guys. I had to restart my computer, so I'm on just a hair bit later this morning. Let's see what we got going on here. We have an opening. We have a gap from yesterday to today. If we jump to the daily, I'll show you what we got here. We had a maybe interesting. It's not showing up. Maybe I was on a different setting. Yeah, there it is. If you select this, the settings next to the time at the bottom of the screen, you can see this gap. So I have that gap marked. Sometimes it won't show it, sometimes it will. But anytime you have the opportunity to see a gap, ICT talks about making sure you can see that gap. So we'll mark that. So we have our previous day high and low. We have our monthly opening price, which today is January 2nd. Happy New Year for those that are here. And looks like we've also closed below this daily fair value gap right here. So I expected to see lower prices, but over the Asia session, we wicked down into this hourly, which because of that wick down into the hourly, it changes some of my expectations. I think we could actually run for the previous day high. And I had this London high midnight and this new week opening gap low that's sitting, the new week opening gap that's also sitting over there. So I see some opportunities for that as well. But we do have a very large opening range gap that is for lower prices, and we have an untouched midnight open and London open right at 3 a.m. Let's see if that really was 3 a.m. That's 3:30. So we did tag midnight open, but we left the London open. So I was watching this opening range gap to see if we're going to get some lower prices. And so far, on the 30-second chart, and so far we are moving slowly lower. And I like that for an initial move lower at open at 9:30. That's kind of what I would like to see. We'll see what happens here. John, good morning. And John, from what you posted in the Discord last night, I appreciate it. I think what I'm seeing so far this morning, as long as we don't run any lows, I think I will take the 9:30 open or the 9:30 model. Chris, good morning. We got 4 minutes till open. Make sure I got everything. I had to launch everything, so I just need to make sure I'm open. I have everything open here. Gonna make sure my screen share is working here. Okay, good. Make sure my micro screen is up and running. Not yet. Usually an issue with my micro screen. There we go. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. We still have the framework of a market maker sell model. From this low, we had our smart money reversal up here at the new week opening gap from December 25th from Christmas. We did wick down into this hourly. This is the only thing that I really didn't like that we wicked down in here. We still can move this direction. Not my favorite approach that it took. Let's get down to the 15-minute, and then this is the 5-minute. All right, 60 seconds till open. There we go. Nice reaction there, lower. That's what I wanted to see. Perfect. Tag of midnight open, and then we have London open or London price right here. We'll see if we can tag that and see what price wants to do once we tag that low. Nice reaction there. I mentioned on stream, as long as we didn't run this low, I was looking for some type of reaction lower here. And that's kind of what we got. If we start reacting and moving higher, I'm not interested in anything moving higher yet. I need to see London low taken. We're too close to that. To me, yes, it could go without us, but it can go without me. I'm not interested. I'm going to be conservative. Where were you in at, Ted? All right, so there's London low. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Now, it's a matter of what kind of reaction do we get? Do we just get expansion through that level? Meaning we could see lower prices. We could reach down to the new day opening gap, which is overlapping with the monthly opening price and the low of the new day opening gap. So we'll see what price wants to do here. All right, so there's the tag of the new day opening gap high, and the monthly, that's our opening price for the month, for the new year. And where was our, I need to mark this, 9:30. And I also do like to mark 9:30 opening price as a reference point. Okay, we just filled the opening range gap and we are tagging the new day opening gap low. The only other thing that I see as a potential target is previous day low. We did tag it at the beginning of the Asia session, but there's a good chance we'll want to tag it. There's a possibility of tagging it in the New York session. So that tells me also that the odds of us running the previous day high is pretty low. There's a 11% chance that we run this high. So there's a better chance of us getting lower prices, because we already had the previous day low ran. So we got this hourly fair value gap. Basically, market open at market maker sell model. Would you call the price action between 6:30 Oh, 100%. You could take that as a market maker sell model. Yeah. 100%. And if you're looking at 6:30, that, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, right there. Yeah, your entry would have been somewhere around here at this high after 8:30 or after 7:30. Where was 7:30? So there's 7:30, 8:30. Yeah, around the 9 a.m. macro. This would have been closer to the 9 a.m. macro. Let's see if it gives us an order block, a bearish order block right here. If we get a bearish order block with an expansion without hitting this low, we can take that towards this low. I don't like these equal highs right here, and with this fair value gap, I would have rather seen a tag into that fair value gap. All right, Ted, have a blessed day, sir. All right, there's our, we need to see this candle close. This candle did give us an order block, but it didn't run the low of this wick. So that kind of leaves us a little stranded for an opportunity. And if it hits the previous day low, I'm not interested in trying to run short yet. I need to find out if it wants to continue going lower or if it wants to hang out. All right, there's our tag. This hourly, I think we could still sell. We could sell here. These types of momentum trades, guys, are the kind of trades that I really don't like doing on screen because they work, but they're momentum trades. I'm not a big fan of those. This could be your potential entry right there. But because it ran the previous day low, I'm not interested in it. I need more. I need more than just this because of the key level being right here. It just doesn't give me enough. I'm gonna mark up ES here real quick. I'm gonna do that off screen while we're sitting here watching. Okay, so see how it rejected going lower? We should see a little bit more of an expansion higher. That's what I would like to see at this point. Let's go to the 15-minute here. Just passed 4 Apex 150 using your code. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I have seen a little bit of an uptick in the number of people grabbing off of getting the 90% off. It ends today at midnight, so and I think I got 5 or 6. I don't get a ton. Let's see if we get a 5-minute order block here. We got some large down close candles on the 5-minute, so I need to see more structure. I'm still marking up ES here while we're waiting for price to do something here. I like to use ES more frequently than I have been in the past to see what price is doing, to see if we get any SMTs and such. So here's what we have so far on ES. So we got the monthly opening price overlapping with the new day opening gap high as we expect. Here's the new day opening gap low. We filled that. We hit the previous day low over here, but we haven't hit it over here. So we still potentially could see lower prices with ES not hitting that low. We have midnight open that's been tagged, and we have ran the previous day high here and here. So ES has ran lower. Now, I didn't do my back testing on ES. It was only on NQ. So I don't know what the percentage is of price running both the high and low, or we call it a double break day, where you break the hot previous day high and you break the previous day low. So we ran the previous day low here, and we ran the previous day high here on ES. So ES isn't telling us much because it's ran both, and NQ has ran the low. Maybe it wants to run the previous day high if it runs both. I don't know. I haven't done the back testing on ES to know what percentage that is. This will be our 5-minute change in state of delivery. We need it to close above this level on the 5-minute. I like where this 5-minute is, the CISD, which is right around the new day opening gap high. I like that. We tagged the previous week low earlier, right here. It was in the pre-market, so we could run for it in Asia session. Let's see, what was yesterday? Did we have an inside day or a fake break day? No, we ran the low yesterday. Is there anything up here that would draw my attention? So if I look on the daily and I look higher, I have this daily fair value gap. I do like that. That daily fair value gap is attractive to me. But I'm not even thinking that high. I would just think the previous day high as our target. We got some low resistance liquidity right here. So if we are looking for a long, that's kind of what I would be looking for, is us to target or to reach for the previous day high. It doesn't have to hit that previous day high for us to take the trade. But it looks like we're going to get our change in state of delivery on the 5-minute. I would treat that as an inversion fair value gap if it wants to get up and through it. I don't like how high it is, to be honest with you, though. I'd rather see a rejection of the London low and then come back down and tag the 5-minute order block. That's what I'd rather see. I consider the London low as a breaker right now. If you look at here on the 15-minute, you can see what I'm talking about. High, low, higher, high. We break lower. You could use this as a breaker. That's what I would prefer to see, a move lower, but I'm not sure if we're going to get it or not. The other thing is we could get a 15-minute immediate rebalance. Price coming up to this level here. I don't think I'm interested in taking this long, folks. I've taken longs like these in the past, a few on stream, where we run quite a bit of this level, and then we hit a 930 price and we retrace first. So it could go without me. I'm not going to take it. It's just not, I don't feel good about it. The gambler inside me would want to take it. I don't know that answer, John. I don't know the overlapping with London and New York, if it affects it or not. I price it based off of liquidity. That's where I'm looking. And I do like the idea of a long because we ran the previous day low. But here's our entry right at 930. This would be your entry for this high. The stop loss is just very large. Your stop loss literally is 50 handles at this point. It's just, I'm not taking it. So the trade worked out. That is would have been a winner. I don't care. I've been hurt too many times taking those type of trades. I didn't get a retracement after we ran the 5-minute change in state of delivery. I would have been interested in a long here. I would have been interested if we reacted to this breaker here, but we didn't. It's just literally teleported higher. So that's not part of my model. Teleportation, which no matter how much I'd want it to be part of my model, is not. that's just crazy. Sometimes, Ted, it's just better to be done. It'd be a mistake to go long here, folks. We're already getting signs of wicking highs, which just tells me there could be a chance for retracement, especially since we're hitting this 15-minute SIBI. We'll see if it wants to just power through it or if it wants to give us the retracement. ES has equal highs at the previous day high. That does look attractive. Got to remember that these are large candles. Right now, every line here is 10 handles. Which breaker is that? Because I didn't see a breaker. Here is the breaker that I see. Let's see if we can get the retracement here. Yeah, let me close the door, folks. What time? T, I don't know what's going on with my... I've done everything they've asked me to do to make sure. There's 10 o'clock. There's our... let's see how it closes. This would be an order block. Did we have news at 10? It looked like people got booted because we went from like 40 people in here to less than 20. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest. We had 10 o'clock construction spending minutes. I don't know. No displacement in this candle from this order block, so can't do anything long here. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. It's quite annoying. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's OBS and I need it. It can't be OBS. OBS is doing just fine. I don't know. On my end, guys, it says I have excellent connection. I'm sorry, Deborah. Yep. I definitely think we go higher. I just want a retracement first with a 1 minute change in state of delivery, and then I would be looking at going long. I would like to see it react and find support around the breaker in this 930 level. That is a giant wick. That 4 hour is bearish, while interesting. The hourly could still be considered bearish as well, despite the giant wick. The 30-minute, that's a breaker right there to the downside. 15-minute mitigation block right here with a overlapping 15-minute fair value gap. Five-minute, we have a breaker here, high, low, higher, high, break lower. That's the breaker. Nothing I'm taking at the moment. Nothing seems overly obvious for me right now, other than I think we do go higher. I just don't know how we're going to get there. Here's an expansion candle. I like that candle. I might try to get a quick scalp out of this, folks. Not sure exactly where I'm going to do it. It's just too... like that either. This could be a propulsion block for us to move higher here. We'll see if it wants to do that or not. Still sitting here, folks. Not feeling confident about either direction at the moment. I mean, I expect prices to go higher, but we're right at a 15-minute fair value gap that we haven't closed above yet. We made these equal lows right here. That is right above this fair value gap. I think what I want to see is us come into this fair value gap and then move higher. This is kind of what's throwing me off a little bit, is we haven't reached down into this fair value gap but created equal lows and then expanded higher. So I would like to see that the test of this fair value gap. Good morning, Hang Flying. How you doing? Yep, you are right. We are at the midpoint of that 4-hour wick. Unfortunately, the 4 hours is really hard to determine future price action when you got 3 hours and 48 minutes left. You're talking about a breaker, right? Low, high, lower, low. Wicks down into here. Move higher. That's kind of how what I laid out there, Tony. Those equal lows are just, I like those with this fair value gap overlapping with this area. To be honest, you could honestly take this inversion fair value gap. If we break this, you could play that down to these lows. That would also be a play, which I kind of like that as well. Just doing a quick scalp from this inversion to these equal lows. It's 10:13. Yes, sir. Just grinding. I don't want to be a part of that kind of price action, though. So, I'll wait. Hopefully, the stream's a little bit better as quality for you guys here. We're going to sit, wait. I'm looking for one play here. I'm looking to see this run aggressively through this fair value gap, creating an inversion, running to these equal lows into this fair value gap. And then from this fair value gap, I would like to see a long. So that's kind of what I'm sitting here waiting. I may or may not take this first inversion. It just depends on what it looks like and probably on what time it is. And I may even just take a smaller, maybe just try to get 10 handles out of it. Maybe not even run all the way to the equal lows. 95, 94. Yeah, that's 15 handles. That's not a bad move. It's giving us a little bit of low resistance liquidity here too, that it could just run. I think I'm going to take a quick short right here. We got 8 seconds left. See if it will give it to me right here. Just a quick push lower. There we go. 10 handles. Booked. That's why I said I'd take 10, because going to the equal lows would be really nice, but I'll take 10 handles on it. Might actually give us another one right here. Another push to those equal lows. There it is. Nice. I needed to get into this fair value gap though. There it is. All right, let's see how it reacts to this fair value gap. Seeing how it reacts right here at this order block. Sitting right here. Looks like it wants to expand a little bit lower. Here's our I wouldn't object to taking a kind of a reaction play off of here. I want to see how it reacts to this 5-minute change in state of delivery. And see if we can just get a 10 handle retracement from right here. See if we can get a reaction right here. 10 handle bounce, I should say. Okay, we see where it closes here. We should, I think we'll get we'll get at least 10 handles right here. Let's see if we can get it. There it is. All right, there's our 10 handle reaction to the 5-minute change in state of delivery. Doesn't mean that we're going to change directions. I was just looking for a 10 handle reaction. Let me mark. I want to see. Yeah, this is 62 retracement level. I don't think we're done going higher. I think this was just a reaction. And I think we go longer from here. That's how I would want to see this. So I pulled the low from the low to the high. 50% is right here and 62% is right here. We could reach down to the 70% level, which I don't have on here. There's a 70% level. I don't think it's done going higher. That's just my gut. But I think if I had to guess how it's going to get there, I think we're going to grind. Maybe do one of those. And then slowly work our way up. But we'll see how it reacts here. Way to go, Phil. Short since 412. That'd be a nice little cash account. I've closed my copied accounts and I'm probably going to be relatively done for today. I made it a goal to size up, so I sized up to 10 micro contracts, so I'm doing one mini contract size. So I'm just taking my quick scalps. the market isn't very, I mean, it's clean, but it's just not giving the model like I like it. It gave us this 30-second or the 1-minute model up here that we took. I just took 10 handles out of it. But that inversion played out really nice if you held it. I just took my 10 handles and then I took a quick scalp, got back in for another quick scalp towards these equal lows, but I didn't hold for this whole thing. I made it my goal to size up, so I wasn't interested. My priority wasn't to try to get a big move. It was to get 10 handles and get out. If we fail to make a lower low here, we should see prices start pushing back up. I'm looking at this 62% retracement level. Also, the monthly opening price. And if we're going to do something, I think it would be better to wait till 11 o'clock or at least 10:45 for the 11 a.m. macro. See if we get any new structure that gives us a setup. All right, looks like we're making another low here. All right. So let's see what happens. Even though we get this nice big moves, outside of the inversion right here, our breaker didn't give us an entry. We have multiple fair value gaps here with an order block. There's multiple reasons that you could make a decision not to make a trade other than this inversion. The most obvious one, and we ended up taking it, was this fair value gap, this inversion fair value gap. Outside of that, nothing stands out completely obvious to me. We have this breaker sitting right here, which we just ran into. But even this breaker isn't very obvious for me. And I don't like non-obvious trades. Watching this inversion fair value gap right here. Seeing if it wants to react off of the new day opening gap low. Close above it and maybe run this low resistance liquidity. Or if it's going to find resistance here and move lower. I think it actually makes sense for it to move lower. This rejection of this fair value gap made for a nice easy 10 handle scalp here. We had 3 rejections of this fair value gap, nice large wick. So here's a signature and price that you can probably go to the bank with. Is if you got an expansion lower, we come back and we start testing a fair value gap with order blocks, overlapping with order blocks, and it rejects it, it starts expanding out of the way, you can probably get 10 handles. Yeah, mobile home, I think it's trying to, I might have to make it, I have it on the highest setting, so it should only be about a 4-second delay, but we've had a lot of streaming issues lately. All right, so there's our close above the fair value gap. There, right there. Look at the reaction. Stop should be at break even. If you're in this trade because of this internal high, you're taking, and it did tag the high right here, so I would be taking profit. That was a quick move. I did not take that. I was looking at your guys, I was looking at the chat. See how quick that happened? You have to take profit when you hit those highs. You have to take some type of profit when you hit those highs. Yeah, I don't want it to break the low, K-More. I think we should go higher, but The market isn't the easiest to read right now. And the main reason is we've already ran previous day low. The ES has ran previous day high and low. I'm pretty sure we closed above this 15-minute fair value gap. There's just a lot of it's sloppy. Here's the 15-minute. We closed above that and completely ran lower after putting in a previous day low. The move was from the previous day low reaction, guys. It just didn't give us a clear entry, in my opinion. And that's just because of the models that I trade. So we didn't have a fair value gap here. Our first fair value gap was here. Our breaker wasn't as obvious. It didn't come back and touch our breaker at all. We didn't have an inversion to go long in. And the only potential trade, if you wanted to take it, is you could have taken the 5-minute change in state of delivery. It would have been right here. But that still makes a huge stop loss. Your stop loss would have been 100 handles if you wanted to do a change in state of delivery. So it didn't give us the structure we wanted to be able to capitalize on this move off of the previous day low. So the only other opportunity was this inversion right here that we ended up taking to these equal lows. I closed my trade at 10 handles, got my 10 handles and got out. But if you had multiple contracts, this was a nice play. I mean, from this entry right here to that low is 18 handles. To this order block's high is 65 handles. You got 65 handles in 3 minutes. So we chose, here's the thing that I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is we chose the right trade. Out of waiting this entire morning, we took the correct trade. And I feel great about that. Even though I closed it at 10 handles, I feel great about how I chose the correct trade. It makes me feel it makes me feel great. Especially when you got all these options on where you can take a trade and we pick the one that actually has a great move and gave us our setup. To me, that is what trading's about, when you can do that consistently. We do have a little bit of a breaker here in the form of the bodies. We got a high, low, higher high, and then we wick into this down closed candle, and then we just collapsed from there. That was the trade. That was a great move. So, honestly, that would be it for today. That is the trade. That's all you need right there. After this trade, I closed my copied accounts. So all my copied accounts are closed. I have just one account open right now, but I'm probably not going to be taking any trades from it, because the goal is to teach ourselves and convince ourselves that one trade is enough. Now, when you miss the trade, that's the hard part. That is the hard part, man, is getting yourself to an emotional point of being okay to close your charts without taking a trade because you missed your opportunity, or you wait for the next opportunity. Right now, nothing seems clear. I knew that we were going to go higher here. We called that. I just didn't see any opportunity to go long, so we didn't take anything. Man, it'd be easy to get FOMO when you're seeing all this giant move. We thought we were going to go higher here. I wanted it to come into here. And then what do we get? We get our inversion to these equal lows with a fair value gap. And that was enough for me. And that's it. Now we're moving lower. We've ran the previous day low. It makes sense for it to go lower. I wanted it to go higher because ES went higher, hit its previous day high, and I thought, well, maybe it might want to reach for its previous day high. Kind of a rogue fingernail here. The only way I would be interested in something, it would need to give an inversion to go short. Okay, so we would need to see something like this, giving us a fair value gap in here that we can go short in, targeting these lows for a break even and targeting those lows for the completion of the move. Or we see displacement higher from a 5-minute time perspective. We come back, we tag it, and then we move higher. That's the only ways that I would be looking at that. But there's nothing to do in here right now. You look at the 5-minute time frame. We're inside of this 5-minute fair value gap still. $15+ handle short without FOMO. There you go. We want to see, does this 5-minute close below this? But if we can get a 5-minute candle to close above this, that would be your change in state of delivery for a move higher. Especially if it stays inside of this 5-minute fair value gap. If we break below it, I would be less confident in that. Happy New Year, guys. Or Happy New Year, LJ. Thanks for stopping in. Takes pretty good, it takes a lot of self-discipline to say you're not going to take a trade when you see good setups. So good on you for sticking to it. We are in the 11 a.m. macro now. It's 10:46. The only way that we're interested in anything is we need an expansion higher. An expansion higher to then run lower, or an expansion higher to find support at the change in state of delivery to then move higher again. But if it doesn't, we're not going to take, there's nothing for us to take here. Way to go. That's a good change to make. There we go. Got it. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten destroyed in conditions like we're seeing for the last 25 minutes or 20 minutes. This condition's right here. It's like we're in a fair value gap. We could see an expansion higher, but the problem that I would always make is I would go long before I would see the displacement. So I would see this inversion fair value gap and go, oh, well, this is great. Let's take this inversion gap long, and then I would get destroyed and it would go lower. You got this inversion that happened right here. What happened with it? It paid out. But how quickly did it run against us once it made these? Did it make a equal high or did it make a higher high? 299, 299. It made equal highs. So when I get equal highs, I take profit because I've seen equal highs run against me and burn me. So when I go long and it gives me an equal high, I will take profit. Even if it hits there and then comes back down here, I'll take the profit. Or I'll move my stop to break even, guaranteed. So, Morrow, it's Tyler, not Kyler. Tyler. So here's an example of one that I would take and I would get burned. I'm not taking this. It didn't even make a lower low. What I would be looking for is this displacement to give us an inversion fair value gap to the downside if we don't close above this 5-minute change in state of delivery. I like the displacement here. Let's see if we can get it to continue. "30 seconds is when this 5-minute closes. Now, if we close on this 5-minute, we need to drop down to the 1-minute. And we need to see if we get displacement above the close. So there's the close. It didn't give us much displacement. We still need the displacement higher before we just take a long here. So the 5-minute stayed inside the candle stayed inside the 5-minute fair value gap and didn't break below it. So we made triple equal highs on the 5-minute now. We have now a 1-minute order block. Let's see if this 1-minute candle can close above this order block with displacement, and that would be a potential long. Personally, I would love a retracement into this fair value gap with an inversion towards these equal highs. Because there's the equal high grab right there. There's the displacement. See how this candle closes. Since I've mostly done for the day, I'm going to reduce my size and I'll look at taking a long here. Let's see, screen share. All right. I like that displacement. I'm going to go a long right here for just 10 handles. There's your move. Okay. There's the move right there that we just got. So why did that work? We had a 5-minute change in state of delivery. We didn't get displacement, but once we got displacement, we can go long. Now, what can we go long to? It could be a 5-minute fair value gap. It could be this breaker right here. It could be the other side for liquidity. We did also grab these highs right here, which that could have been the target as well. Let's see if it wants to continue higher here. I am out of the trade and done. I'm still interested in longs even though we're seeing this right here. Watch this fair value gap. If we close below it, then you might be able to take a trade to these lows. But I'm not even interested in... this is manipulation for me. We'll see if it gives us a fair value gap, an inversion that we could go long in maybe. Something like right here. Let's see if it gives it to us. Or maybe it just closes it all together. This is going to be, if this closes above this, this is going to be a big move higher. We get these crazy moves lower to then expand higher. So this could be a big push higher. I'm not taking it. No, I'm done. I've already made my mental decision that I'm going to be done for the day. But this looks really nice for a move higher. We have a breaker right here. Fair value gap right here. Let's see if we get that expansion. Okay, there's the close above the bodies. Not my favorite to see it not close above this. Here's our 5-minute. They're with the change in state of delivery. Also, it's a breaker as well. Low, high, lower, low. Break above, displacement, change in state of delivery. I don't know how fast it's going to go, K-More, but... $15-minute. Let's see what the 15-minute, Tony. Yeah. With the 15-minute fair value gap right here, it could just slowly work its way. If I was the market maker, I would slowly work this up to this high, and then once we reach this high, I would be aggressive. That's how I would treat it. Yeah. That's what I would want to do. Slowly move our way into the PM session up to this high, and then once we hit these levels here, we are aggressive running through this high, and this high in the PM session. We'll hang out here for a couple more minutes. We're about at 11 a.m. and then I'll probably be calling it a day. We got our first snow today. Just a little bit of a flurry. If you're joining for the first time or you've been joining and you're interested in participating or joining our Purpose Driven Trader Academy, you can find the information down in the description at DTJ Academy. Includes the Discord. We're building a purpose-driven trader community. So we're building that up as well. If you want to join, just DM me or reach out and I'll give you the details. Where you get snow at. G Money, we're in Nebraska. Nebraska. My kids are still on break, so I'm probably going to take them to the YMCA. We'll do a workout. I got 3 boys. No, you're not, Shane. You're not in Nebraska. Oh, you're in Kearney? Okay. All right. So here's the deal. If somebody says Kearney, they're in Nebraska. Because nobody outside of the state of Nebraska knows anything about Kearney. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm in Omaha. Okay, cool. Whew. Folks, I'm going to have to cut it short. My wife took my Tesla, and I apparently have a service appointment that is supposed to be taking place here. So we're going to have to cut this a little early. I know it's right at 11, but I'm going to have to take care of a couple things. We should honestly be done for the day anyway. So you guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, 9:15. Peace out. Thanks. See you later. We'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.